Let's take a look at this clip, and I'll come back and I'll give my opinions. Let's check it out.
Hi, I'm Abby. I'm going out on my afternoon run. I enjoy running. I'm trying to get fitter and trying to get a bit more cardio done. What happens if I do get catcalled? I feel diminished. I just feel uncomfortable. It just makes me feel a little bit like, what are they getting out of it? It makes me feel uneasy. And then instantly it's just ruined my run. I just don't want to, My name is PC Abby Hayward. I work out of North Division, so I'm on Runnymede Safer Neighbourhood team. So the change I'd like to see is for people to recognise that it's not right. It's not just a small act, it's a thing that can make someone feel really quite uncomfortable. So I think it's important Surrey Police are taking it so serious. It's one of our force priorities. And for me, that makes me feel proud to work for Surrey Police, because for me, it's such a personal experience. And I know for a lot of other, if not all other women who experience it. So I feel empowered to be a part of such an operation and work for Surrey Police when their force priority is to tackle Rourke.
Hello, I'm John Vale. I'm the Borough Commander for Reigate and Banstead, and I'm also the tactical lead for Surrey Safer Spaces. We're not going to keep these tactics a secret. We want people to know what we're doing, where we're doing it, etc., so that we can make perpetrators think twice about their behaviour and activities. Essentially, these new operational tactics that we've developed involve female police officers running in plain clothes in local areas where you, the public, have told us that there are places that you feel less safe, or that where incidents have previously taken place that have been reported. This is really designed to, first of all, deter offenders from coming to Surrey and carrying out these activities, and also to reassure communities and make people feel safer that we're taking this seriously.
These women aren't friends out for a run. They're actually undercover police officers taking to the streets in Surrey as part of a new operation trying to stop people catcalling and harassing female runners.
We get honked at, the staring, the hanging out of the window just to look at us, and it's so prevalent.
Police teams are ready to intervene the moment the officers are beeped at, followed or shouted at.
Okay, so the UK government wants to arrest people for catcalling. Let's just say the government, let's just say the police station, right? This particular police station in this particular city wants to arrest people for catcalling. Not people, men, right? So they're thinking that, if they preemptively get these people, right, from, as soon as they catcall, or if they honk at somebody, or whatever, holler at the shorties, or the girls, the women, or whatever, they're going to arrest these people because they think that if they arrest this person right away, they're preventing some crime that this person is possibly going to do in the future. This is crazy, right? I don't know if you guys have ever seen this movie called Minority Report that was done by Tom Cruise years ago, and they were doing something like this. They had those precogs that were in the water, right? And then they'll predict okay, this person is going to commit this specific crime at a specific point in time, and the cops would just basically fly in, catch the person before they do anything, and put them in jail for however many years they think that the person is going to commit the crime. They don't know if the person is going to commit a crime, but their precognition, right, that the person that they are looking at or that they've seen in their visions were going to commit this crime, even though the person hasn't done it. So this police station is doing this in the hopes of protecting women. That's why. You got all this other stuff that's happening in the UK, and you are focusing on this particular issue. So it's almost like, I guess in the UK, they're trying to emasculate men, right? Take out the things that make us who we are, right? Maybe they're preparing for something else in the future that we don't understand. But if you're a conspiracy theorist, then you obviously have your mind running right now, right? So, for example, if they want to take over everything, right? If they have feminine men, right? Then it's easier to take over things, right? So in our generation, like obviously, like we had a tougher exterior. We had to, fight. And if you look at generations before like that, like it was all men. They were all manly men. Even the movies that we had back in the day, they were all manly, right? But if you look at stuff that's happening right now in terms of like Marvel, DC, or anything that's coming out of Hollywood, everybody is kind of feminine. Let's look at Pedro Pascal, for example. That's another dude that is so feminine that they're trying to push, in the forefront and say like every man should be like Pedro Pascal. And one of the things that I was also disappointed in, I was looking at Superman, and I kind of like Superman. I like Henry Cavill myself. He's more like my Superman, but they put this new guy, Cornsworth, to be the new guy, right? And they had the Nicholas Hoult be the Lex Luthor. So I was like, okay, that's kind of fine. That's all good. However, I seen images of those two people hugging and cuddling with each other and saying like, oh, men should be like this. Come on, what the heck is going on here? So you have on one hand, women acting like, oh, if a dude approaches you, they're a creep. So then men cannot approach you anymore, like to, try to make moves. So if men don't approach you and you don't have a relationship, then there are no babies on the planet being made, right? On top of that, add the other agendas that have also been put into the system, right? Of, trying to say like, there's multiple agendas and whatnot. So it's almost like a concentrated effort that is going on in the guise of, we're making everything safer, right? Toxic masculinity, blah, 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 all this nonsense, right? It's almost like they're trying to soften us. And the worst part is like in our community, especially the hip hop community, you've seen some of the stuff that's been happening in the last video. If you didn't check it out, you can go watch that, right? Dudes are wearing skirts. A man is wearing skirts. But like, like the kilts, like the Scottish people were doing, right? I remember like seeing it back in the day, like Roddy Piper in the WWF. That's what it was called at the time. He used to wear a skirt. And I was like, yo, like, man, he actually wears skirts. And I wish, the movie Braveheart, if you've ever seen it, the one with Mel Gibson back in the day, the Scottish people or whatever, the Irish people were also wearing the kilts, right? I actually thought they were skirts and thought it was weird at the time, but I was like, oh, I guess those guys can do it, I guess it must be okay, right? But we used to have manly men. Even when you look at those movies, those guys were manly, right? If you look at Roddy Piper, even though, he was being essayed behind the scenes or whatever on the WWF side of things, right? There were a lot of, weird behavior behind the scene that was happening. But on the forefront, he was a manly man, right? There was no nonsense like that. So now in this particular future, it's like, yo, you're trying to destroy relationships for one. And then we have this thing that's coming with the AI where the people are like worrying about, like most people are going to be trying to go for robots and things of that nature, right? Instead of like getting in a relationship with a human being. You got some people on Reddit that mourning the end of ChatGPT 4 to the point that they had to reinstate ChatGPT 4 because people had built a relationship with this app. And there was one woman on Reddit that was actually showing a picture of herself saying that the AI that she had created had actually proposed to her. This is wild. And then on top of that, you're adding this thing of arresting people for catcalling. I don't do that myself, but this is a bit extreme, don't you think? It's a little crazy. What do you guys think? Do you think that it's okay for this government to be doing this? Do you think other governments are also going to be doing the same thing? Following the same, route or whatever? Just to say, we're kind of preventing a crime that you possibly commit, right? And then they start putting all these laws and whatever, right? I don't know what's happening in this world, but I think definitely we're going down a dark path. There's going to be some dark periods of time, but I do believe that the future looks bright, right? So anything you want to say, man, just put it in the comment section down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.